Hey there, Tamir from FibonacciTraders.com here. I hope everyone had a great weekend. We are in the top stocks to watch for next week video. We have 30 names on this list. We have HD, BA, Shopify, UNH, and more interesting names. So let's dig in the charts. Before we do, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, will be much appreciated. Thank you very much. HD, first name on the list. Since we identified this double bottom of the 266 few weeks ago, we have a run, nice run. Now 333 will be a tough one for the bulls, because if we look left, from resistance, resistance, and now again resistance. So if you are not long yet, since we took this long few days ago, few weeks ago, over the 297 area, I would wait for a close above the 333 or some pullback at this point towards the 317 or even towards the 305 will be healthy, and trying to identify a bounce over this or this level. Follow price, use levels to manage the risk. BA is next, also another name we identified few weeks ago, and we said the 150 area, once it will break up and above, we will go long. Now we are at the 180 area, together with this trend line. This downtrend line goes all the way back to March 19. We have September 19, November 19, and all this during 2021 and 2022 to the penny. Trend lines are the true support and resistance for price action. So now let's see if Boeing bulls are strong enough to break up above and close above this trend line. If you're not long yet, I would wait for this breakthrough, or again wait for some kind of a pullback, because we have a great run on BA. Pullback at this point back to the 167 or even the 160 will be healthy. Anything said on this video or any other videos on my channel are for educational purposes only, not a trading or investing recommendation of any kind. Always do your own due diligence. Never follow blindly anyone on YouTube, Twitter, or on anywhere else on social media, paid or free services. Dow, strong bounce of the 43 area, uptrend channels. We can identify uptrend channels by simply drawing and know how to draw trend lines. Short video on how I use trend lines and Fibonacci levels will pop just about now on the right corner. Check it out. Short, interesting video, and let me know what you think about it. For now, Dow is in an uptrend. You have here a small gap that needs to get filled, but as long as this trend line holds the higher lows, we can say safely that this is an uptrend, and we can use the levels to manage the risk. Nike is next. Also, same thing, uptrend channels. We have now some kind of consolidation past 2 weeks, basically moving sideways, doji after doji. We do have here this trend line overhead, so let's see if we can break up above this trend line and continuation in this uptrend channel. FL, Foot Locker, is next on our list. We can see clearly that this trend line is acting as a strong resistance since August, and now price action again trying to break up and above. We have the 39 area, 39.40 area together with this trend line. Let's see bulls going up and above, and once it does, we can go long using the levels to manage the risk. Failing once again to break this one above, 2-3 more fails, and we will see a pullback towards the 35 and maybe even towards this small gap here, because we know more than 80% of all gaps will get filled throughout time. Bluebird Bio, blue is the ticker name. Very interesting price action over here. We have consolidation and we are waiting for a break up and above this trend line here, together with a break above the 840. This trend line goes all the way to August 19 and to the penny throughout 2020, 2021 and now 2022. Let's see if bulls finally can break and close few days above this trend line. Once this trend line will break up and above, we will use this trend line to help us identify that we are in an uptrend, short-term uptrend, but still uptrend, and we will use these levels, the Fibonacci levels, to manage our risk, aka stop loss. Next name, Hudson Technologies, HDSN is the ticker. Broadening formation. We are now again, same as we were in August 22, we are again at the top of the broadening formation, 1-2 days above it. We can go long using the levels to the upside for a potential resistance. Failing to do so, 2-3 days failing, we can expect a drawback, pullback towards the 1030 and maybe even closing this gap over here. UNH, long-term, very long-term uptrend since January of 2020 all the way now to, it started over 273, uptrend. We are now at the 540. Next level of strong resistance will be the 554, 553 area, and as long as this trend line keeps holding the higher lows, we can say safely that UNH is long position. Unity Software, ticker U, we can see trend lines are the true support and resistance for price action. In this name, it started November 21, April 22, August 22, and now we are in November 2022. Again, strong resistance. Let's see if bulls can push price up above and close at least 2 or 3 days to the upside, and we can assume with high probability that these levels to the upside will be the next resistance for price action. RDFN 530, strong resistance, waiting for a break up above and close above it. Very important for price to close above a level. If you want to go long, you need to wait for a close above a specific level. If you want to go short, you need to wait for a close below a specific level. Intraday does not actually means that this will go the way you anticipate it to go. So for RDFN, above 530, going long using the levels to manage the risk to the upside, to the downside. Failing to do so, breaking below the 473, we can assume that this price action will go and try to fill this gap here. Always prepare for both sides, because we never know what will be once we put on a trade. Once we put on a trade, embrace this. Once we put on a trade, anything can happen, and the only thing we have control of is risk management. Always prepare for both sides. IBKR Interactive Brokers, strong uptrend channel, higher lows, higher highs. Now let's see if price can bounce off again this trend line. Once it does, we can go again long using Fibonacci levels. We can take this low to this high, and now we can see that the 78 area from support to resistance. So if price goes down, retesting this trend line and bouncing back above, I would wait for a close above the 78 area. Shopify, ticker SHOP, short-term uptrend channel, bouncing doji off a trend line. Now let's see if we can get continuation towards the up trend line, the upper trend line resistance. If you are not long yet on Shopify, I would wait for a close above the 37 area. ISRG, Intuitive Surgical, 267 area, we can clearly see from support. Now strong resistance during the last 2 weeks, break above, long towards this trend line here. This trend line represents higher highs, so let's see, close above 267 towards this trend line here. Failing to do so, few more days, if it will fail to do so, this 253 area will get retested as support. Failing to hold, and this gap, and maybe even this gap and this gap might get filled. So use the levels to manage risk, follow price, never be biased on any direction. If you find this video helpful, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the opening bell.